upon a time, there was a little girl called Heidi. Heidi lived in a little town in Switzerland with her Aunt Teddy. The town was near some mountains. One day, Aunt Teddy said, "Today we will go and see your grandfather. He lives up in the mountains." As they walked up into the mountains, they saw a boy called Peter. Peter looked after some mountain goats. Heidi and Teddy walked up to the house where grandfather lived. Grandfather came out to meet them. Aunt Teddy said, "Heidi, I have to go to Frankfurt. You must stay here with your grandfather." Heidi was worried. So was her grandfather. He said, "I'm much too old to look after a little girl." But Aunt Teddy went back down the mountain and Heidi stayed with her grandfather. "Where will I sleep?" he asked. Grandfather made her a little bed in the hayloft. Then Peter took Heidi some goat's milk to drink. Heidi was happy in the mountains with her grandfather. He looked like the trees and the flowers, and he liked looking after the goats with Peter. Heidi liked the little white goat the best of all. Her name was Snowflake. Sometimes Heidi went to see Peter's grandma, who was blind. Heidi told Peter's grandma about all the beautiful trees and the flowers that he saw in the mountains. But one day, Aunt Teddy came back from Frankfurt. "Heidi," he said, "it's time you went to school." "Where must I go?" said Heidi. "To Frankfurt," said Aunt Teddy. "I will take you to stay with my friends who live there." Grandfather was sad. "Does Heidi have to go?" he said. Heidi was sad too. "I want to stay here with grandfather and Peter," he said. But Aunt Teddy said, "No, you must go to school." Aunt Teddy took Heidi to live with some of her friends in a big house in Frankfurt. A little girl called Clara lived there. Clara would not walk. He had to stay in a wheelchair all the time. Heidi looked like Clara, but he wasn't happy living in Frankfurt. He wanted to go back to grandfather and Peter in the mountains. At night, Heidi dreamed that he was in the mountains with Snowflake, the little white goat. One day, when Heidi came home from school, Clara said, "Last night the maid saw a ghost on the stairs. Tonight, Daddy will stay up so that he can see the ghost too." So that night, Clara's father went to look for the ghost. His friend the doctor went with him. As they were looking, there was a noise on the stairs. It was Heidi walking in her sleep. "So this is the ghost after all," said Clara's father. The doctor took Heidi back to her bedroom. "What were you dreaming about?" said the doctor. "I was dreaming of the mountains," said Heidi. "I am happy here, but I miss my grandfather and Peter." Clara's father was worried about Heidi. "I will help you to go home," he said. Heidi went to see Clara. "I will miss you when I am back in the mountains," he said. "I will miss you too," said Clara. but I will come and see you one day soon. So Heidi went back to the mountains. Grandfather and Peter were very happy to see her. Peter gave her some goat's milk. Then Heidi went to sleep in the hayloft. Heidi didn't walk in her sleep that night. She was so happy to be home. The next day, Heidi went to look after the goats with Peter. It's wonderful to have you back, said Peter. I missed you. I miss you too, said Heidi. I want to stay in the mountains forever. One day when Heidi had just got up, there was a knock at the door. It was Clara and her father. I have to go to town, said Clara's father. Clara can stay here with you for a week. Heidi was pleased to see Clara. He took her to see all the beautiful things in the mountains. But Peter was jealous of Heidi's new friend. But when no one was looking, he pushed Clara's wheelchair down the mountains. The next day, Clara could not find her wheelchair. I must try to walk, said Clara. So Heidi and her grandfather helped her to walk. Suddenly, Clara started to walk all by herself. This is wonderful, said Heidi. Peter was pleased too. I'm so sorry. I was jealous, said Peter. Will you be my friend, said Clara. The next day, Clara's father came to take her back home. Clara walked out of the house to meet him. You can walk, said Clara's father. This is the happiest day of my life. And Heidi, Clara and Peter were friends forever. Thank you.